very well in there about how to, how can he determine what is really a significant dangerous hole by digging 3 or 5 inches. He can't do it. And under their state policies, he can't see a way that you could ever be prosecuted for digging a hole in a park. I wish all the states had his attitude. It's an excellent letter from him with his letterhead and stuff like that, or email is something to keep and something to show, and that sets a precedent for us right there. If you go before the right people and you have to prove something, it doesn't make any difference it's Kansas. Why didn't all of them think that way, you know? So it's pretty good to have in your favor. We also have, I'm going to pass this out too. This is Thoughts of Archaeology in the United States Today. What this is an archaeological professor that teaches archaeology in college. Basically, he was asked if he would give his thoughts on archaeology. I'll just hand this to you and let you pass it around. Everybody get one. And you'll have it in your hand so you can read later, go in lesser detail about it. Let me read off. All right. He says that there's 4 myths about treasure hunters. Treasure hunters do it for money. We do it, the archaeologists do it for knowledge. The information is critical to us archaeologists. The information is precise. We do it more precise than the treasure hunters. And there are only a few of these places left. You know, there's their argument. Archaeologists' argument right there. When you get down to it, it says, if we address the first one, or let's go back to his explanation before he addresses it. It says, I will give the archaeologists credit. They have been very successful in selling these myths to land and federal governments, and picking up an arrowhead or a coin, you can be thrown into jail. However, if you call yourself an archaeologist, you can dig and collect all you want and get richly rewarded for your efforts. This is the kind of power that archaeologists will not give up without a great struggle. We must make an effort to get people to at least think critically about what the archaeologists actually are saying. And he goes on to break down each myth as it goes through. And like the treasure hunters do it for money and we do it for science. And it sounds great, but it's just not true. Academics get bigger and better grants, and they get to present papers to their peers in important meetings. They get promotions at their present institutions or offers for more prestigious schools. All this means is money in their pockets. I am not upset with the system works this way. I'm just thinking it is very important that everyone understands that the archaeologists have just as big a financial stake in a good find as a treasure hunter. Both groups are working for this same thing, but archaeology, the money trail is fuzzier. So pretty good. I mean, this guy's not stupid. He's got it down pat. It says a friend of, I'll go into that. Information is critical. Non-treasure hunters would have you believe that there is a dangerous loss of society if archaeological information and artifacts are not handled correctly. Not true. For people who devote their entire lives to these academic pursuits, this information is valuable as gold. But in the real world, it can only be truthfully described as nice to know information. No matter what information or artifacts archaeologists dig up, it will not reduce smog and pollution, solve the world's hunger problems, cure debilitating diseases, or solve any other modern day problem. Historical artifacts are interesting, but not necessary for the fabric of modern life. I told you this guy's sharp. He's an archaeologist teacher and certified archaeologist for a university. It goes on to tell you more. If you read on the back, it's too long to go through for what short time we have. That's why I made you copies so you can continue to read about it. Most of these finds that archaeologists claim is theirs and stuff, do you get to see them? I don't get to see them. We put on a treasure show here open to the public where people can come and look at what we dig up. That really defies them a lot because they're a firm believer most treasure hunters put it in a shoebox, stuff in the back of the closet, and the public doesn't get to see the rewards of recovered archaeological finds or artifacts or old coins and stuff like that. It doesn't get it out. I still preach that to this day if you show them a video of this entire show this weekend. They want it their way or no way. But the facts are not true in that either. It's just like the Smithsonian Institute. I have a video, a house of the Smithsonian where 3 different people were fired at the Smithsonian for stealing stuff out of the Smithsonian and selling it. And that's where a lot of this stuff supposedly is going and being cataloged, but in warehouses you can't find. They were using a 1,500-year-old Indian-made basket that had the baby buried in it for a wastebasket in the office of the Smithsonian. And they were throwing their trash paper in. They showed that on the video. And most all the gold coins that's on the logs that were registered for the Smithsonian and supposedly put up are strangely missing. So, recently here, about 5 years ago, the U.S. Forest Ranger was caught stealing artifacts outside of Carlsbad. He had them stored in an old miner's shack down at the bottom of the cliff. He was stealing artifacts out of the caves and stuff and hiding them for himself. And was going to transfer them to wherever later on. But they ended up catching him. And stuff, so it's really gotten out of hand, but we're the ones being blamed for it. So, with the close synopsis of what we're facing here, what do we do?
Change your name, Dark.
It would be nice if we were all certified archaeologists, wouldn't it? I've thought about taking the school a couple of times. We have individual clubs, individuals, and basically what it comes down to is we have to change the thinking of the public. In doing so, we have to advertise what we do. We're not doing it. They're clubs. Used to, as a matter of fact, I've got some up here. I had the portfolios for the state of Texas. I built those out of my own pocket. It cost me quite a bit of money to make all those copies. And I offered every club in the state of Texas a copy of it. You should have it, but if you do not, I got 8 copies left. You're welcome to it up here after the meeting. I asked the clubs to continuously send me updates of people returning rings, working with law enforcement, helping archaeological surveys, anything that is a plus PR for our hobby. I haven't got anything the last 2 years. That means y'all are not doing anything, right? Or did y'all just forget to send it to me? See, we got to do some community service. We have to not only do it, we have to look for it. We have to get out there and find something that we can do to get our name in the paper to help change public attitude, change thinking across the United States. Not just us, everybody. Now, it sounds good in words, a little hard to do in paper. When you go out and recover somebody's ring, here's $10, here's $100, turn it down. Turn it down and say, keep it. Just give me a picture and permission to put it in the newspaper. You know what you just did? How many thousands of people read that in the newspaper? Thousands. And the mayor and the Parks Department read that in the newspaper. Okay, your newspaper won't print. Next little town over is begging for news. Put it in that little paper. Your town won't do it over there. There's a newspaper office here, there, everywhere. Travel a little bit, put it in the paper. Somebody's going to put it out. They're going to print that in the paper because they're begging for the news. It's a good deed, community effort. Get it in the news, forget about the reward. Your reward in this life is that you're going to guarantee that possibly by doing something like that, your children, your grandchildren, the exact same pleasure you get out of this hobby they might get. And my gosh, the way the world's going, my grandchildren are going to need it. They're going to have to put on those headphones and turn off the world. So, just take the time out with your club.